It's the One-of-a-Kind Financial Show Daily with your host, Mike Milligan. You're both at home all day, every day. Money is more visible. Decisions feel heavier, and suddenly small purchases spark big conversations. On the One-of-a-Kind Financial Show this past weekend, Gary and I talked about the retirement arguments nobody warned you about and how clarity can reduce tension. For those who are married in retirement and those who are in a relationship in retirement, and maybe some of you who are even single in retirement having arguments with yourself about the lack of money. Enjoy this segment from the One-of-a-Kind Financial Show.
Retirement doesn't just change finances, it changes dynamics, spending habits, routines, expectations collide in new ways. In this segment, we'll explore why money disagreements often increase in retirement and how planning can turn friction into teamwork. Why do money conversations feel heavier? They feel heavier in retirement, Mike. Come on.
Well, there's less perceived margin for error when you get to retirement, because especially if you have two spouses working, all of a sudden they're not working. You had money flowing into the accounts, money flowing into 401k plans, a lot of excess margin in the budget. Well, when you're retired, decisions feel more permanent. Even modest spending can trigger what if thinking, like what if I didn't spend that money? Retirement is amplified. Retirement amplifies the financial emotional side of things, and it's a couple things. It's you have more time to think about this, and you don't have the replenishment coming in of those funds as you spend them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, how do save or spender differences become more visible?
When both partners are home, spending is transparent. You see who goes out to lunch.
Yeah.
You see what the real grocery bill is. You're not distracted by task over at your employer. And so some long-standing differences that you have surface up because you're spending more time together. So one person may see caution, one person sees restriction. And when you have two couples at different odds in how they view things, it brings conflict up. And one of the best ways is to address conflict is to do it head on, because we all know if there's a problem that's ignored, it only gets bigger with time. And that's why early in retirement, having these conversations, it's critical to stay married through all of retirement.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to see my wife probably throwing me out of the house a few times when I get retired. Go to Starbucks, go to McDonald's, get some coffee, hang out for a while. I'll see you in a couple of hours, maybe.
Well, that's because she's used to her time by herself, Gary. And if all of a sudden you're hanging out around her, she's going to be like, I need you to go back and do something else.
Go do something. Go fix something. Go anything. So why do everyday purchases suddenly feel symbolic, Mike?
Well, groceries, travel, home projects, they're no longer just expenses. They represent security, freedom, or fear. So all of a sudden, emotions come into your money more so than when you're working. Again, because you're not replenishing money when you're retired. You're becoming a user of your money. So the return on your money, how much money your interest is growing, what you're contributing, is not as important in retirement as the return of your money, actually getting that back.
Yeah, and some of your clients have real trouble spending, don't they? They've saved, they've done well, but still they have trouble spending, don't they, Mike?
They do, because they've lived their whole life around their job. They say they want to do something. They say they want to travel. They say they want to spend more time with their family. But the reality is it's hard for them to make the transition from saver to spender. And that transition is really the difference between being cooped up in a home all of your days versus being freedom that goes out and sees different parts of the United States, different parts of the world. And if you don't really address the spender saver mechanism, you're not going to be able to go out and live a one-of-a-kind life.
Absolutely. This show is the One-of-a-Kind Financial Show with Mike Milligan. I'm Gary Nolan, your consumer advocate. With us each week at this time is Mike Milligan. And Mike is with One Oak Financial. Our phone number is 800-748-1838, 800-748-1838. Text the word IDEAS to 600-700. Let's get you on the calendar all set up with that one-of-a-kind financial plan that Mike's going to talk about again in just a couple of minutes. So what happens when expectations aren't discussed out loud?
One partner may envision travel and experiences, the other stability and preservation. Conversations in retirement If they're not had, they turn into resentment. So one thing you have to do is, I just this week had a conversation with a client. They said they wanted to travel in retirement. And my question for them, my homework for them in our financial planning process is, what are 5 to 10 non-negotiable travel experiences you want in the next 10 years? Mm-hmm. Just a simple assignment. And I got a note the next day, an email from them that it listed it, because I told them I wanted them to send these to me. It listed them out. Both were copied on it. And the husband said, "Thank you for making us do this." The wife came back in and said, "We appreciate the conversation this led into, so now we're on the same page." Nice. And that's what like having a financial planner on your side. I'm not a therapist, guys. I'm not a marriage counselor. I am a financial planner. But a financial planner can prevent some of the biggest issues people have, either individually, right? Because if you don't have somebody to talk to when you're making decisions, if you're single and you're making decisions without somebody to run an idea by, it could lead to catastrophe. If you're married or you have a partner where you guys depend on each other for income and you guys are going different routes, it could lead to catastrophe. So I'm, again, not a counselor, not a therapist.
Nope.
But I can help you have conversations that are tough to help you kind of get through the next level of using and spending your money for your benefit.
It's all part of the process when Mike puts together that one-of-a-kind financial plan for you. Mike, tell us more about it.
One-of-a-kind financial plan is something I wrote. It's let's be honest, folks. If you don't have a written financial plan that you can understand, I'm going to say that one more time, folks, for everybody listening. If you don't have a financial plan that you can understand, you need to call in today. I'll be manning the phone lines this weekend, and I'd love to have a conversation with you and get you on our schedule because I want to talk through you about how we can influence the taxes you pay over your life, how to get retirement income that reduces fear, stress, and anxiety, how we can get an investment plan that's more tied to who you are so that the return of your money is guaranteed, a long-term care plan that leaves dignity on the table when you can't take care of yourself, and a legacy plan that says, "I love you." The one-of-a-kind financial plan was built for you. It's all about you because I want you to live a one-of-a-kind life.
Folks, advice like this show you how important it is to meet with a financial coach, to meet with Mike and the team. They understand the ins and outs of the financial world. Take advantage of this opportunity right now. No cost, no obligation. That phone number is 800-748-1838. Mike will be on the phone himself this weekend. 800-748-1838 or text the word ideas to 600-700. Do it right now. Get yourself all set up with a one-of-a-kind financial plan. Again, no cost, no obligation.
This has been the One-of-a-Kind Financial Show Daily with your host, Mike Milligan. I hope you've enjoyed these segments from the One-of-a-Kind Financial Show with Gary Nolan and I need to give you a reminder, and that is that I am an investment advisory representative with Advisory Alpha LLC, member SEC. Ideas by Mike doing business as One Oak Financial is an unaffiliated entity of Advisory Alpha LLC. All opinions expressed by me and Gary on the One-of-a-Kind Financial Show are for education purposes only, should not be construed as financial advice, and are solely our opinions. For more information on One Oak Financial, go to the number one oakfinancial.com. And if you're interested more in about the book that I authored, The One-of-a-Kind Financial Plan, you can go to amazon.com to read the reviews and find out more about that book.